everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Lakeisha Soap & Co. I'm Lakeisha. In today's video, we will be making two 8-ounce candle tins. Strawberries and cream will be the name of these candles. So the first thing I do when I'm going to make candles, I measure out my wax, which I already got here in this pot, and I already chopped up some of the wax. I have a total of 10.25 ounces of wax that I will be using today, which I did measure a little over because just in case I spill some or anything might happen. But this is the wax that we will be using today, and the kind of wax I use is MP117. So this wax is pretty soft. It comes in slab forms and it's very easy to cut. So like I said, I already measured it out, so this is how I chop it up, and I just chop it up and put it in my pot after I measure it out. And what I do is melt my wax down on the stove. So this is all the wax in this pot, and what I'm gonna do is just sit it on the stove and I'm gonna let it melt down to like 185 before I add in my fragrance oil. Okay. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is let y'all know what I will be using in today's video. And I wear gloves because the wax that I use is very sticky. So anyway, these are the 8-ounce candle tins. I will be doing 2 of these. This the 10. This the top. Okay. We will need wick stickers, thermometer to temp the wax, our wicks, a wick cutter, and this is my strawberries and cream fragrance oil that I will be using today, which I've already measured and before the start of the video. These are my little popsicle sticks, which they very inexpensive. I ordered these offline. You get like maybe 300, and I just use them over and over. And let me see, these are our warning labels, which I will be putting on the candle after before I sell them. You have to have a warning label on your candle, and these are the ones that I'm using for these particular candles. Okay, the first thing I do is I wipe down my candle tins with 99% alcohol. This is just what I use to wipe my candles down, just to get any dust and debris off my candles tins. I just wipe them down, especially the inside, and I wipe the tops down like this. Okay, to get any dust and debris from the candle tins. Okay, and I just sit my tins on top of I just sit the tins on top of the I sit the candle tin on top of the lids. This is just what I do. Okay. The next thing I do is, these are my stickers to hold the wick down in place that I use. And you just peel. This is how I do it. It's sticky, so you just put your wick onto the little sticker, and then you pull out the other side. It's like double-sided tape, but it's a wick holder sticker. And I place it in the middle as close. I try to get it in the middle as I can. And I just put these little wick holders on top. Okay. I just pull it off. This is just, like I said, this is how I do my candles. And I'm just sharing with y'all. And I just pull the top off like that. And then I add it on into the candle tin, close as to the middle as I can get it. Put my wick holder on here. Okay. What I was intending to do, and it slipped my mind, this, I usually put this label on the bottom first. Bear with me, y'all. This is my first candle video. So, candle nervous a little bit. Just a little bit, not a lot. Okay. And I just make sure that it's in place. And I'm going to walk over here and I'm going to check my wax. It's not quite melted. But yeah, the type of wax I'm using is MP17. And it holds up to 10% fragrance oil. But I only put in 6% because it is overpowering if you go over that. And you would think that if you put a higher percentage of fragrance oil, you would get a stronger candle. That's not the case. You will have to go onto the website where you order your wax and look at their lab notes. And that's what I did when I was testing candles. And I did it at 6%. And I also did it at 10%. And the 6% with my testing was just as strong. The 6% with my testing was just as strong as the 10%. So that is why I'm using 6% fragrance oil in my candles. So I'm going to walk over to the stove and I'm going to just temp my wax again and just check on it, because I want to get it up to like 185. And before I put my fragrance oil into the wax. And what I do, I just constantly stir and check my temp. And I always make my candles in small batches, not in this small of a batch. This is my first video on candles, so that's why I'm only doing 2. I felt like it was easier for me to manage. and I can just look at it and tell what I need to tweak from now on when I do a candle video. But yeah, let's talk about these candle tins. I ordered these candle tins offline, and they come in like 24 in a case. And if you break the math down, that's like $1.10 per candle tin. And you know, I just feel like that's a good price, you know. And this strawberry fragrance oil is one of my best sellers at the market. I've gotten so many compliments from my candles, especially the strawberries and cream. And a lot of that comes from me testing my candles when I first started making them. I started out with 464. I liked it, but some, to me, some fragrance just didn't do good in 464 wax, soy wax. So I opt for this one. You do what's best for your business. This wax works for me. So anyway, let me go over here and temp my wax. So this is how it looks when it's melted down, y'all. I hope y'all can see it. See how clear it is. And I'm going to just temp it. See where I'm at before I add my fragrance oil in. Because if you add in your fragrance oil, you have to check the flash point on your fragrance oil, which this wax is a little too hot, so I'm gonna have to let it cool down. And another thing is, if you don't research your wax and check the lab notes on the website, and you just won't have a good candle, you know. And far as wick goes, you have to test your wicks. It's a lot of wick guides out there. You can put in the diameter of your container, and it'll give you a guide. So what I did, I did that, and so what I did was ordered the first choice and the second choice, and I tested both of them. And the one that I came up with is the LX16 for this particular candle wax and this container. So what I'm doing is just trying to get this wax down to 185 before I add in the fragrance. Still a little too hot. So yeah, it feels good when a customer come up to me and tell me that, you know, how good my candles smell. You know, it just makes a difference to me. You know, you have to do your testing on your candles if you want a good smelling candle. And that's what I did before I even started selling them. I love candles anyway, so I love a good smelling candle that gives a good hot throw. And this MP17, it does that. It never disappoints. Never. But the only thing about this wax, I'm going to tell y'all, if you do markets outside in the summer, and it's kind of hot where I'm at, it is hot where I'm at. It get up close to 100 degrees. If you don't find a way to, do your set your candles up, your candles will start melting with this particular wax. So that's something to take in consideration. So the wax is up to 185. So I'm going to just stir in the fragrance slowly for like 2 minutes. Because you want the fragrance to bind in with the wax. And I might edit out some of this stirring, but you want to make sure the wax is bind, the fragrance is bound with your wax. And with this particular wax, I pour at 170, sometime between 170 and 165. I see that I have no problem when I do it like that. But like I said, make sure you don't go by what I say. You research for yourself. Because that's what I'm just letting y'all know how I do my candles. And it works for me. And it came with a lot of testing. It get frustrating in the beginning, but you know, it's worth it in the end. It is worth it. So I'm going to temp this. Okay. So it is up to 169. So I'm going to pour. I'm just pouring it in slowly. Okay. Okay. So you have to keep an eye on your wicks, and because they will move. So what I'm gonna do is just let these sit here until they become solid. And I have these little strawberries that I put on top that I made with the wax. I'm not gonna show how I make the strawberries today, but I will do a separate video on that. These are the strawberries I'll be putting on top. So what I'm gonna do is just let this sit here till it get solid, and I will come back and put the strawberries on.